Hey YouTube family, how are you guys doing? You see Canada, right? It's actually the real definition of there are so many ways to kill a bird. Like Canada has so many immigration pathways, so many ways to approach Canadian immigration, right? And let me tell you something. If you want to have a good experience immigrating to Canada, right? Do yourself one favor. Focus on the rural areas, focus on the rural areas. The rural areas are the real deal. Like they have so many pathways that would be even more seamless, give you less headache, and give you a better migrating experience. Now, New Brunswick, for example, has so many countless of pathways just for the New Brunswick province. And in this video, we're going to be talking about one of them. What there's so much noise about, postgraduate work permit, international students, who is able to get, who is not eligible to get, what colleges are eligible to offer you designated learning institutes, and all of that, right? Do you know that there's actually a legit pathway that can migrate you to Canada, to New Brunswick province in particular, right? Legally, without postgraduate work permit, via the study route, and you're able to get yourself a PR after your studies and settle in New Brunswick, Canada. Yes, I bet you didn't know about this. So we're going to be looking at that in this video because I find it really interesting. Okay, I'm going to be sharing my screen and we're going to be looking at all of that. By the way, via this pathway, you don't need Canadian work experience, right? You basically just need to apply to private colleges in that are designated learning institutes for this particular program and in selected work areas, right? And you're going to be applying for a job at the end of the day, in selected work areas. Okay, so you apply for courses that are 10-month length or beyond 10 months in designated learning areas. We're going to look at those designated private colleges in this video, and yeah, get to New Brunswick to do your programs. And at the end of your program, you are able to look for a job in those selected job paths that are also in agreement with this particular program that we will be looking at today. And yeah, get that job and end of story, right? You are able to apply for a PR. Guys, there's obviously eligibility criteria, which the biggest one would be that it has to be New Brunswick. Okay, it has to be, you have to be happy to live and settle in New Brunswick, at least for a while in Canada, right? Because you're coming into the country via this province, and New Brunswick is amazingly beautiful place. Okay, so I will share my screen and we will see from the horse's mouth. Okay, so now this program, okay, so the New Brunswick immigration program streams, right? I am talking about a particular program called the New Brunswick Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. Okay, that's the one I am interested in. So I'm going to click on that. Now, brings us to this page, says Private Career College Graduate Pilot Program. That is the one I am talking about today. Okay, and these are the steps, right? There is this guide, this comprehensive guide. Guys, I'm going to leave all of this. Now, this is a long read, but I actually want to point out the main things, or the main things that you need to know about this pathway. Okay, so it says the New Brunswick Provincial Nominee Program, administered by the government of New Brunswick, is an immigration program that allows the government of New Brunswick to nominate individuals with the greatest ability to become economically established in New Brunswick. Okay, now I am very much interested in the eligibility criteria. Okay, so always there are often stages to these, obviously, but the first stage here, as an international person, now you can actually apply for this if you are inside Canada already. This program accommodates people who are inside Canada and as well outside Canada. So if you're outside Canada, who I believe are most of the people I'm talking to, you can apply to these designated private colleges, okay, and apply for certain programs that will enable you get the selected category of jobs at the end of the day. We are going to see all of this. Hang on with me, guys. The standard act. So eligible private career colleges. Okay. Now, it says this pilot is accessible to new graduates from specific private career colleges in New Brunswick that are not eligible for the federal postgraduate work permit. Did you hear that? Okay. So these colleges are the ones now that in the other story, we will call them the unfortunate colleges that the people are avoiding, that does not give you a postgraduate work permit. Now, this is the one that comes with this program. So participation is limited to private career colleges that, one, have held a DLI designation at for at least 5 years. So you actually want to check all of this. Now, eligible private career colleges. Now, I want you to look at this, okay? It's Eastern College and Outland College. These are the two major colleges that I found on the website. So definitely, I don't know about other colleges, but these two colleges are definitely qualified for this program. So if you have those courses, we're going to go through the selected job pathways. Okay, so if you're going for programs in these two colleges, so make sure that you're going for programs that earns you those job in those selected sector. Okay, so offer so this colleges must offer eligible programs of study in targeted priority sectors. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? So we're going to look at the targeted sectors, job sectors, and are not directly affiliated with immigration consulting businesses, have not changed ownership, you know, provide multidisciplinary. At this stage, I may have to, you know, research for even more colleges, you know, that are probably approved. I probably would doubt that just these two colleges are, but I can find this in the government approved guide. So I can 100% say that this would pass all these two colleges, the Eastern College and Outland College, would pass all of these criteria at the moment. There may be some, but I have to research them and, you know, add to the list. Okay. And if you want to know about more, you know, a variety of more colleges that can, you know, that passes this eligibility criteria, let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to research more of that. Okay. At the moment, we have this too. So sector programs of study and eligible. So these are the sectors that you want to focus on. Okay. For Eastern College, look at the courses you would study. Programs of study, education and social development, so child and youth care with addiction support worker, early childhood education, that's ECE, and under health. These are all courses you would find under Eastern colleges. You can apply for medical administrative specialist, personal support worker, okay? And you see, these are the programs you can study, and these are the eligible occupations it would offer you at the end of your program. Now, remember again, these programs have to be 10-month length or beyond 10 months. It cannot be less than 10 months. Okay. Now, so you have an opening as well for IT. Guys, I find this really, why do I find this really brilliant? Like, it is so good, I think, right? So application development under IT and cybersecurity, you have application development, video game development, okay? And you just see, you're going to have all of these. You can see the programs and the job sectors, okay? And then business administration, you have accounting and payroll administrator, and these are the different jobs that you can get yourself at the end of this program. You have the supply chain and logistics as well, and these are the jobs as well you can get into: shipper and receiver, supply chain tracking and scheduling supervisor, production and transportation logistics coordinator. Now, for Outland College, we have ECE as well, early childhood education, and these are the eligible occupations. We have child and youth care, human services counselor. Under health, you have medical office administration, medical laboratory assistant, medical laboratory technology, practical nurse, and primary care paramedics. Okay, and here are the corresponding eligible occupations, okay? And then under business administration, you have business management and entrepreneurship. And these are also the corresponding jobs, right, that you can get. Now, candidate eligibility requirements. I know your ears are itchy for that. Now, intent to reside. It is your responsibility to prove a genuine intent to reside in New Brunswick as described in section 87, blah, blah. Now, you need to demonstrate your intent. You may be asked to demonstrate your attachment to New Brunswick that may include a description of any actions you have taken to permanently settle in New Brunswick, current employment in New Brunswick. Obviously, in your case, guys, what you need is a full-time employment, okay? At the end of this program, the first thing you want to get is your full-time employment. So you target the employers for those jobs that are mentioned here. Those are the job titles that you want to look for. And automatically in New Brunswick, employers in New Brunswick, okay, with these job titles, you are eligible to participate on this program to apply for your PR, okay? I'm going to see how you can do that. So there are so many things here, but I think what is applicable to you is the current employment in New Brunswick. So it has to be a full-time job, not a part, not a temporary one. And then you need the offer of employment. You have 90 days upon graduating to secure in-province full-time employment in an identified priority occupation related to your field of study. So you carefully actually want to look at these programs and actually see which one. So whatever you're going for is actually, you at the end of the day would be getting a job in what is related in what you have done in these private colleges, which I find brilliant, to be honest, because a lot of times people go to do MSCs and they still end up doing absolutely something different from what they've done, you know, but at least you've done something in this and you're settling for it. And then you need full-time means that you're expected to work a minimum of 30 hours per week or 1,560 hours per year. Okay, and a competitive wage and all of that. You can read all of this. If you were originally hired on a positive LMIA, then the wage you are earning at the time of registration and application must be equal to or greater than the wage stated. Well, this I don't think applies to you. Remote work arrangements, these are not really relevant. Employer eligibility requirement, this is actually for the employer. So I don't think you need to fix yourself on the employer. This is actually for the employers to know what they require to do to be able to as well participate in this program. Now, do you need a language test for this pathway? Yes, you do. Okay, but beautifully, it's a very low score. So you see for IELTS, for example, you need IELTS general and, you know, 4.0, 5.0, 5.0, and 5.0 in speaking. So that's basically like a band 5 in IELTS, which in fairness, that is like, you know, I mean, it's more like, you know, just being able to register for the exam. Like it's, you know, there's no probability with passing that. I suppose everybody would, you know, would get a 5 score even if they were sleeping. So yeah, you know, you're going to knock it off at one sitting. So that's fair enough. The application process, within 90 days of the issuance of your final marks in your program, you must accept an offer of employment, receive a nomination certificate, and apply for a T13 work permit. So these are the 3 basic things you do. Very simple in a nutshell. So what you do is at the end of the program, within 90 days, you have to have applied or gotten a job, okay, a full-time job, and accepted. Now your employer applies for a nomination, a provincial nomination with the government of New Brunswick. And when you get the certificate of nomination, you're then able to apply for a T13 work permit alongside your PR, okay? The work permit is issued on the immediate, so you can stay back legally in the country. Remember, you have come into a private college, you're done with your program, you are not qualified for a postgraduate work permit. So there is something to keep you legal in the country while your permanent residency is processed, okay? So you get a T13 work permit. Wow. it is processed. Okay, I don't probably I don't need to read all of this because it's going to make the video a long one. So receive an offer of employment. I hope that's clearly understood. Create an expression of interest. You must create an express of interest in the Immigration New Brunswick online application portal. Okay, and then receive an invitation to apply. Okay, and then submit an application to Government of New Brunswick, and then submit your additional information for submitting your application. If they need additional infos and blah blah blah, whether you have dependents, their document, non-accompanying family members, if you obviously you didn't come with your family because they are back home, and you just came in for the program. So this is the opportunity to include them and get them join you in Canada. So there is so much emphasis about, not paying agent. You are not allowed to pay anybody. And if you must pay anybody, make sure that they are licensed immigration personnels. Okay, you cannot just be paying all sort of agents for this. Okay, in fact, it is illegal to pay anybody who is not licensed to help you or to assist you in this program. It is clearly written on the website. Okay, then so we've talked about those steps. Okay, submitting your work permit T13, and I've explained that that's your work permit while you submit your PR application. So you submit both alongside. Okay, and then with the work permit you're able to commence work immediately. So after 18 months, should you have not obtained permanent residency, you must submit a declaration to Government of New Brunswick along with the following supporting documentation: proof of employment. So it is most assumed that before 18 months, the end of 18 months, okay, that your permanent residency must have been released, okay, or approved, right? And if that's not the case, you need to submit your proof of employment, proof of New Brunswick residence during employment period, and just to update that you are still in that full-time job and that you still live in New Brunswick. And for this, they need to see like your lease, utility bills, bank information, and all of that, New Brunswick driver's license, those things to show that yes, you do live. And it also kind of affirms your commitment to settling in New Brunswick, because that's actually the whole idea of this program, right? So you receive a decision from IRCC. If IRCC approves your PR application, you'll be issued a PR visa, which will enable you to become a PR of Canada. If you receive a PR visa from Canada, you must report your landing to the Government of New Brunswick within 90 days of landing in Canada. Okay, that's probably if you're applying from outside landed. Okay, I suppose this would probably be for people who are in Canada already, but not in New Brunswick, because if you're coming internationally, then obviously you have to do the programs in those private colleges, which is in New Brunswick. So obviously you're going to be taking a job in New Brunswick, so you're never going to be outside New Brunswick, right? So using a representative, I talked about this, right? So representatives could be immigration consultant, lawyers, friends, family members, or the third parties. Immigration representative explain and give advice on your immigration or citizenship options, help you choose the best immigration program for you, fill out and submit your application, communicate with Government of New Brunswick on your behalf, and advertise that they can give immigration or citizenship advice. Okay. Type of representatives: authorized paid services. Only some people can charge a fee or receive any other type of payment. These people are called authorized representatives. So those are the only people you are allowed to pay. Okay. Remember, if you pay a representative or compensate them in any way in exchange for their services, the Government of New Brunswick considers that as paid and they must be authorized. So in essence, this is the same thing I've been explaining. If it's somebody that you have to pay, so you are allowed to use your family or a friend or anybody. See, so you see the list of representatives, right? All the third parties and all. But if it has to be a paid thing, if there is an evidence you paid somebody, then the person you are paying has to be somebody who is authorized, guys. Take note of that, right? And so there you go. I think this is actually straightforward. Declaration and consent, and that's it. When not to apply. You are not eligible to apply if you already have an active application registered with the, obviously with the government of New Brunswick, own a property and a business. Now the list is endless. Have an immigration application in process in another province. Okay. So if you're in Canada already, right, and you're doing an application somewhere else already, then no. But if you're just an international student somewhere else, not in New Brunswick, and you are not currently doing any immigration application and you intend to settle in New Brunswick, obviously you can go for this, right? So an unresolved or failed refugee or humanitarian, so you've applied for refugee status and that has failed, are not lawfully residing in your current country of residence, obviously you are not allowed. You have to have a legal residence in your country of residence. Okay, if you are already in Canada, you have to be legal as well. So if you go into Canada perhaps for study, your visa has to be in date at the time you're making your application. An individual, so you can read through all of these, have been offered a seasonal, part-time or casual job in New Brunswick. You know, you have another job, so you don't have a full-time job, you are not eligible for this, right? It must be a full-time job, guys. And you can read through. I would leave the link, okay? And there's a document checklist as well of everything you need to make. It is so detailed. It is so detailed. Like, I tell you, you don't need no agent. You don't need no, you can literally get yourself glued to this paper and go through this process step by step. Remember, the first thing you want to do, yeah, I'm just going to stop sharing that. So remember, the first thing you definitely want to do is to get admission in this designated learning institute, these private colleges that are DLIs are in New Brunswick, and you know, two have been mentioned here, the Eastern College and the other one, right? So like I said, I'm going to make research if there are other colleges that are eligible for this, and if you're interested to know if there are other colleges, I would assume there are, but I'm not 100% sure. But these two are in the government provided guide, so they are 100% eligible. You don't have no duty going to check if they meet all the employer criteria, right? Or the college criteria, right? They absolutely do, because the government has written them there. So if there are others, I do not know, but I'm probably going to look at that. And if you want to know if there are other colleges, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be happy to research more and make a video on that. But so far, so good. I think this is really good, and I think it's an amazing program. I think that, you know, the fact that the IELTS requirement as well is quite low is something that is really super amazing. Like, you know, you're going to write IELTS, but like, you don't have the fear of obviously, I bet you're going to get a pass, you know, going in for an IELTS, right? A score 5 is obviously sure, right? So yes, it's just like, you know, a walkthrough, it's just the money for the exam, which is absolutely worth it. So guys, what do you think about this program? Are you going to be applying for it? Do you think I think it is absolutely worth it, because in a time where people worry so much about PGW, there's so much confusion really about PGWD, and you know, having to know that you can actually go via study and not having to, you know, you don't have no concerns with PGWD, and it's all okay, and that, you know, you are going to be getting a job in whatever you have invested your time to study. It is absolutely brilliant, absolutely amazing. If there are any confusions, anything more that you think you want to know about this program, please do always ask your questions in the comment section, and I would do well to provide all of the answers. I wish you all the best if you're making this application, and let me know how it is going for you. Give me all the feedbacks. I'd love to know, and please ask all your questions in the comment section, and I would answer you. Like I said, all the links will be in the comment section. Do justice, take your time to go through them and, tick the boxes. You necessarily do not need nobody to help you. It is very, very self-explanatory. With that guide, you're able to sit down and know what you need. And now, I think this video is already quite lengthy. Now, if you've watched this video to this point, guys, don't forget to give the video a like and leave all your lovely comments in the comment section. And don't forget to share the video with friends and family, people who you think would benefit from this video. Also, remember to put on your post notification bell so each time I put up videos, YouTube gets you notified first and you're one of the first persons to watch the videos. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe and out of trouble. Bye-bye.